Today is Monday 20th of April and we've closed the third hole for today, Tuesday and Wednesday to do a burn down the length of the hole, so from tee to green. This was originally scheduled for last spring, but given all of the bushfire problems around the country, for obvious reasons, we didn't proceed. I'd like to firstly just show you why we're doing this. You can see here, for those who occasionally go into a bush along the third, there is a lot of debris and potential fire fuel, so it is a potential hazard. So the aim is to reduce that fuel, and it will also make the hole more playable for us as golfers. We're just here at the trees about 200 metres off the tee where we put some wood chip in. You see the guys here with the hose. Let's go up and have a look at some of the burning that's going on. It's called low intensity burning apparently.
Any piles,
like the tree stump or whatnot?
yeah, tree stumps like that, we definitely want to hit those as much as you can, because they'll smoke for a few days. Yeah. Alright. If you just move down that way.
Yeah, you want me to go along the edges?
Yeah, the edge, all the way back. Yep. Good work.
Tim Wainwright. Tim's a director and our commander today from Fire Support, and our contractor doing the burn. Tim, firstly, why do we do the burn?
Hazard reduction burning primarily is taking place to reduce bushfire fuels, and that means unburnt bush in a summer situation with wildfires would burn out of control ferociously, throwing sparks many kilometres and destroying property and environment. By doing controlled burning during the cooler months, we can remove those and reduce those bushfire fuels, so that in summertime, if a bushfire does come, there'll be less intense fires. The environment will be protected, the trees are more protected because there's less fuel, there's less sparks, and houses are protected, and the golf course facilities as well.
Great. So as landowners, are we required to do this?
Under law, landowners are required to reduce hazards that affect others. So protecting the houses around the perimeter of the golf course is essential, and this is really good that we're here doing this.
Okay. So I assume we have to get permission before we actually start lighting the bush up?
Yes, that's correct. It can be a lengthy process. I'll go through it in minor detail. First step is to go to the Rural Fire Service. No matter which area you're in, if it's a fire rescue or a Rural Fire Service area, you go to the Rural Fire Service and you say, we would like to burn this area. They send their officer to come and have a look. They do up maps, they have a look at any endangered species that may be affected. They look at the type of bush and forest, and they look at burn regimes. They tell you how they would like you to do it and which areas to avoid and how they'd like you to do it. They give you what's called a hazard reduction certificate. That's your environmental approval under state legislation to conduct hazard reduction burning. To do any burning in the bush, you need a hazard reduction certificate. So that's the first step. The second step is then to go to fire and this area is a Fire and Rescue New South Wales area. So you need to go to them, you present them with the hazard reduction certificate. They have a look at that, they put in their opinions, and all going well, they give you a fire permit. Now, in many areas of New South Wales, you don't need a fire permit outside a bushfire danger period, but in New South Wales fire rescue areas, they require it all year round just to make sure houses are safe, which makes sense. So you get your HRC, you get your fire permit. After you get those two things, that means you can go ahead and do the burn, but you do need to then notify authorities, schools and neighbours.
Right.
And so what we do is we do a letterbox drop of an A4 page notifying of the dates, times, details, contact details, where the burn is going to be happening and why it's happening.
Okay.
And we do that to all the neighbours, schools and other authorities.
Right. And how do we ensure wildlife are reasonably protected?
That's covered in the hazard reduction certificate. Rural Fire Service take that into account, and that's why they state, for most cases, you need to do low intensity burning, where you start at the top of the hill and you burn slowly down the slope. And as you can see behind us, it burns very low intense the scorch height is only about 3 to 4 feet. It's moving about 1 metre every 10 to 20 seconds, so it's moving very slow. Even a snail could probably outrun the fire. And this is what you want. This is a controlled fire. It's the opposite of a bushfire. Bushfires burn uphill really fast and they cause destruction.
Right.
Controlled fires, we do the opposite. We burn down the hill, very slow, very controlled, very low flame heights.
Do they ever get out of control?
Not with us. In over 30 years, we haven't lost a single fire. All the other fire services have lost some burns, but not us, because this is my profession and I have to pay for damage personally. So that's why I take things very, very safely.
Right, and I see you've got a few hoses here, obviously, to keep things under control.
Absolutely. Well, our water plant for this burn's excellent. We have an irrigation system at the golf course that provides excellent water, excellent pressure and lots of points. And we also have additional hoses plus 2 light fire tankers.
Great.
So yeah, we have a lot of hose on hand.
Fantastic. Well, Tim, thanks for coming and doing this for us. We'll have a chat to Dave about the benefits to the golf course as well in getting it done.
Excellent.
We'll let you get back
Thank
to work.
you for having us.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm here with Dave Warwick now. Dave, this is a bit more dramatic than some of the projects we've filmed recently.
A little bit more exciting. Yeah, it's wonderful. You know, there's so many benefits to the Australian bush in which the course sits with fire. As you know, the Aboriginals managed Australia with fire for 40 or 60,000 years prior to white man's settlement, and that's how the Australian bush has evolved. It's great for native seed germination, it's great for noxious weed control, and it's also cleaning up the leaf litter on the ground and all the debris. So it's one less thing the bushwhackers have to worry about.
Exactly. This is one area the bushwhackers did not get to, and we didn't go here for this very reason. Where else on the golf course do we need to do it?
Basically, the entire perimeter of the golf course needs to be done over a period of a few years. It's if you look at where the golf course sits with bushland on one side and expensive housing on the other, it's a perfect fire break between Lane Cove National Park and those areas. So it's also an obligation on the club. We have to manage the fuel load on the ground. So it's just part of the land management here at Avondale.
Fantastic. And while we've got the whole close doing this, your guys are also doing the work around the perimeters of the green up on the third here as well.
Yeah, they're just down there now finishing that off. We're doing bunker sand relocation. We've done a lot of pruning up at the third tee in particular. We have the tree lopper coming in on Wednesday while the hole's still closed, doing some line of play issues that have encroached over the years. So we're taking full advantage of when the hole's closed, we're getting as much done as possible. Where normally we've got to try and fit that around the golfing calendar as best we can.
Yeah. Okay, we'll let you get back to it, Dave. Thank you very much. See you.